Hello. What would you like to talk about today? Okay, you have a for sale by owner. Go ahead. Why? What is the reason you want to send him something? So, do you have any inkling of what his motivation is? You need to focus on every time you talk to a for sale by owner, you need to build rapport and talk to them. It's almost like just because they had a conversation with you, you're like, oh my God, it's a lead. No, a lead is someone that you have rapport with, that you had a conversation with, that has disclosed with you motivation, that has disclosed with you a time frame at which they'll list. That's a lead. Just because you have somebody's phone number doesn't make it worthy of like chasing. If you had a conversation with him and you had rapport and he's like, yes, if I don't sell it on my own by April, I'll interview agents. Now we're having a different conversation. But I think before you start going sideways on what the plan of action is, stay focused on the plan of action, which is get really good at what to say, build rapport, and then follow. All right, so before I come out, there's a couple of questions I'd like to ask, and you follow that way. Something of value would be your track record. Something of value would be maybe staging techniques. Something of value would be how to qualify buyers. Maybe something of value would be a seller's disclosure. But those are 4 or 5 different touches that you can have with the seller or with this for sale by owner over time. All right, guys, what do you guys got on internet land? Questions, comments, concerns? So here's the first thing that came in my mind. The term is called hybrid farming. The purpose of you contacting everyone inside your farm area is so that anything that is data is coming from you. So you list and sell more than anyone else. However, there are other folks that sell inside your neighborhood. Be the beacon of information for your entire neighborhood. Hey, this is Larry with your neighborhood update. Wanted you to know that in the last month, 4 properties came on the market, 4 sold, and the average price is $595. This is just your courtesy call of your monthly update. If you'd like more information, I'm still on the phone. If this is enough, I'll talk to you next month. And so some agents send mailers. You're going to be the voice or the door knock. They don't. And it's not because of you. It's because they don't. I would send a text. This is Larry with your neighborhood update.
Because it's a pretty long text.
No. Hey, missed you. This was Larry giving you a call. Larry Lewis with Keller Williams giving you your neighborhood update. That's it. So Larry, what I want you to hear in this is it's not about going through the list. It's about speaking to everyone on the list. So if you call somebody and you have someone that doesn't answer, you have a saved, so you have an iPhone, correct?
Yes.
So there is a technique called text replacement. The technique text replacement is simply this. You can, I'm making this up. You could put money sign, April 1. APR, the number 1. You with me?
Yeah.
Just the money sign, APR 1. The moment you put that series of letters, number sign, APR 1, whatever you correlate that with inside your iPhone, it'll type out whatever that paragraph is. So you can, if they don't answer, you just go to the text, you go money sign, APR 1, boom, and hey, this is Larry with Keller Williams. This is your April update. Want to say hi. And that automatically will pop up in your phone. You hit send. So you don't have to copy and paste. You don't have to keep doing certain things. You just literally go inside your settings. I can show you how to do it. It's very simple. You go inside your settings, or Susie could do it. It's very simple. And then you'll have that automatic paragraph done. And then you hit send. Don't get overwhelmed. Just know that no, you're not going to write a book in your text. It's going to be short and sweet. And text replacement is going to be your friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think that was a great question. And this is, again, what Ask Lee Anything is all about. You guys ask anything, and I'll give you what nuggets are inside of my head. And text replacement should be your friend. Anything you constantly type should be in text replacement. So the question is, how do I get better at answering questions? And the answer is you have to spend a lot more time than you are learning what to say. I shared the entire script book, dialogue book on every question you're going to get, and it's on our Facebook page. There's no reason to be confused if you're prepared. So circling back around, what was the question that they asked that got you confused? I'm talking directly at you right now. It's because you're making stuff up. Don't make stuff up. Just go into the manual and look up the answer and get a really good grasp of how to handle that objection and those questions. Because you making stuff up opens up to them questioning you. And because you're not comfortable in what to say, your voice changes and then they eat you up. And that's why I'm speaking directly at you. Go into the script book and write out the answer at least 30 times every single day. Every day. Every day. Until when someone goes, hey, so what's up with the NAR settlement? You can say with confidence the answer. With confidence. Get very comfortable in what to say without making anything up. Because that's what will get everyone in trouble, is when you just make stuff up. The moment you give in to being absolutely dialogue driven, you will make an ungodly amount of money in this business. The moment you give into it. But when you just make stuff up because you don't know what to say, that's when all bets are off. And I'm speaking to everybody online here. Like, I don't think anyone understands the amount of time and energy and effort you have to put into understanding what to say. Like, everyone that got their license in the last 2 years has an unfair advantage, which would be 2023, 2024 has an unfair advantage if you take advantage of it. And it's because agents who were in the business 21, 22 built all bad habits. They built all bad habits, and they are hesitant to make changes in how they do business, hence this conversation. Because you're still making stuff up. Verse going, okay, I got the objection. Lee gave me the script book. Yeah, I gave it to you, and you are choosing to not use it because you're still thinking, well, I can just wing it. I can still do things the way I think I can do them. And I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to everybody. That this business is so simple. And y'all make it so difficult because you just wing things. You just think that just because somebody talks to you that you're going to get business. Like, you have to handle objections in this business. You, being everyone on this call, don't have the skills until you learn the skills. And you're not going to learn the skills unless you put significant time and energy and effort in learning them. And I mean spending hours a day, not 20 minutes, hours, writing out the script over and over and over, chanting it over and over and over, reading it over and for at least an hour a day. So that when someone says, hey, what's up with the NAR settlement? You don't go, oh, well, you'll save money. Oh, don't worry, you're just going to save money. Like, that's the worst thing to say. Like, think of it like this. Everyone on this call has an opportunity to save this industry. But if you all just wing it, This industry is going to go to shit because it's all going to fall to the weakest link. It's all going to fall to the lowest version of a professional real estate agent, which is someone who has no skills, who just wings it, and who works with whoever has a pulse because that's all that they can work with. And then they cut their commission because they don't have any business, and the industry just starts going this way. I was just at a seminar with top broker owners across the country and Canada. And they're advocates for this industry going in the right direction. And that's why I spoke directly. If you guys are not spending time studying what to say, all bets are off that you will survive. Unless you have really deep pockets, of course. Unless you make significant income outside of real estate. Odds of you making it through the next 24 months is near zero. Just is. Because the amount of transactions are shrinking, the amount of agents are continuing to go up, and unless you understand how to handle the questions professionally with a downswing, not an upswing, because here's the reality. If someone thinks that they're going to save money as a listing agent, who's going to pay the commission? The buyer, right? So is the buyer going to offer the right price if the buyer now has to pay commission? So who's saving the commission? Better yet, if there's 9 units for sale inside a building and 9 are offering 3% concessions or commission to the agent and one seller decides not to, how close to list price is the buyer going to offer? Is that a better answer? Yeah. Right? We just have to put in the time. More time than we think we do to get better, stronger, and be an advocate for this industry. Like attorneys, are advocates, are fiduciaries, actually put in years of work before they have the honor to represent people. We're just 63 hours. Let's rock and roll. Let's make hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yet, I'm taking a stand for each of you, which is why I'm being very direct. You have the tools. I personally have provided it to you, but I'm not your parents. I'm not like here to tell you, where's your time in your schedule? When are you putting in the time? I'm giving you the tools, and I would hope that you guys work together to get better, to be advocates for this industry. Every single thing that he said, there's an answer for in that book. I promise. You know how I know? Because 1, I've read it. 2, Glover University is on the ground. We're in the trenches. And so when you list a lot of property as a coaching company, you have a bunch of people in the trenches. And so when you ask, what are you hearing? Because they're going on appointments, now it's just a matter of getting the answers and then providing the answers. But that's only leading the horse to water. Next step is, hey, when's your time in your schedule to practice? How many days a week is it in your schedule to practice? Who are you practicing with? How are you practicing? That's role play. That is sound advice. We want to hit the easy button in this industry. Oh, I'm speaking to people. Why aren't I making money? Well, it's because this business is so much more challenging than we give it credit to, which is the numbers game. Understanding that if the people in our world, our friends and family, are not giving us enough business to hit our financial goals, then we have to speak to people we don't know. And as Larry said, even if you're the greatest, it's only going to work a small portion of the time because you may not have had the versatility to connect with them. They may be in a bad mood. We may have gotten them too late. Like there's so many variables. And so as Larry said, which was absolute sound advice, objections and handlers, even if you're the best, don't work all the time. And that's sales 101. Understanding that. Well done, Larry. That's sound advice because that's why we have to work on our mindset. And mindset work is so important because it's a high rejection, high reward business. Like, just think about this using your point. If you were to speak to 100 people and 1 out of 100 set an appointment with you, and it takes you 4 appointments to get someone to say yes. How fast can you talk to 400 people? How fast can you speak to 400 people so that you could get paid? But now let's put that into retrospect. Let's say it takes you 20 hours. 20 hours to speak to 100 people. 20, 40, 60, 80. So now you worked 80 hours to get someone to say yes for you to earn a $15,000 commission. Now divide 80, multiply it times 2, 160. Someone who has a calculator, pull up your calculator. Take 15,000 and divide it by 160 hours. What is that per hour? Does anyone know anyone making $100 an hour that went to school for 63 hours? Making $100 an hour? But rejection sucks. You see how when you do the math, like this is still pound for pound, like $100 an hour? I mean, that's significant. And I multiply it times 2. Like I made it twice the amount of work than if you spoke to one person out of 100 that said yes, and then you went on 4 appointments for one person to say yes, and you're making $100 an hour on a $500,000 sale. That's $15,000, 3% of $500,000. Is this supposed to be easy if that's the math? Probably not. Probably not supposed to be easy, because if it was, everyone would make money. But wait, everyone did make money in the last 10 years, which is why everyone's in the industry, and that's what led us to where we are today. As the transaction count shrinks, the skill set of the agent has to get stronger, and then the faster we get stronger, the more we push away the agents that aren't skilled. There was a time, I remember, in 2007, and my broker at the time, that's before I came to Keller Williams, my broker looked at the amount of agents in the Orlando Realtor Association, they call it ORA, and the amount of closings. And so what he did was he did the math and he said the average agent, because he took the amount of agents and the amount of closings, said the average agent closes 6 transactions. You guys see how I did the math? So then he said every 6 transactions that you do, you starve an agent out of the business. So he's like, understand that if you close 36 transactions, you're going to take out 5 agents, because I'm one agent and then 5 others. And he's like, you would be doing the industry a service closing 36 transactions. And I would encourage you guys to look at it the same way. Are you the agent that's going to take others out of the business because you're suffocating them because you're doing more transactions? Or are you going to be the one that the top agents are suffocating? Little food for thought, because math is math. There's only so many closings, and there's so many agents. And so once we can figure out the math, then it just becomes the game. Hey, are you going to be the victor or the victim of NAR, of the settlement, of handling objections, of providing a great marketing plan, of converting for sale by owners, of saving sellers from ending up with another weak agent in an expired? What is the stand that you're willing to step on to close out 2024 and build momentum to 2025? So that was fun. I don't know how we got there, but that was fun. Whoever got me there got me back, because I remember exactly where we were when he did the math, and he's like, so Lee, your goal is 36. Please know that when you hit 36 closings, you're taking out 5 agents. And our brokerage Ralph was there with me. I remember Brian, Deepin, Morgan, all of us were in this room. And he's like, let's save the industry. Little did we know that the next several years is going to be short sales and foreclosures and all in the next 6 years of just chaos. But all right, what's next? I think there's so many answers to it, and yet it becomes like that next evolution of a real estate agent. The first is I have no business, my mindset sucks. The next evolution of the business is, oh my God, I got so much business, but now work-life balance. Now it's I got to deal with things that I'm not comfortable with dealing with because I never had to. Because before it was I didn't have business, which is why my mindset sucked. Now my mindset feels some type of way because I'm learning new things. I'm experiencing new stress. I'm trying to handle more balls of juggling, which is a beautiful place to be, by the way. And only a portion of agents get to experience this because some quit before they even get to this next wave. And mind you, it keeps happening. And what you're really describing is E to P, just in a different way. And so thank you for asking it. I think the first answer is in developing a strong mindset is be very clear on what motivates you. Crystal clear on what motivates you. And it's not money. It's what money can do, will do. It might be the next vacation because you're in the flow of money right now. So the next step is the vacation, is being able to shut off. When before the pressure was, I have no money to think about vacation. Now it's, hey, I'm overwhelmed. I have a lot of different things going on. Let's build the path to the vacation, to the next thing. Because we all need to shut off. It doesn't mean we need to go somewhere or spend $10,000. But vacation is simply refilling the energy bus, if we will. All right. So, especially being on a team, you can build the moat around that. So getting clear on what motivates us, what's important to us. The second is don't do it alone. That's the second part. Connect with others that are on your journey. They don't have to be in this office, but they should be on the same journey as you. We would have affirmation partners, we would have role play partners, and we would have mastermind partners. And they could be the same or they could be 3 different people. And there was a time where we would check in at 6:45 in the morning and we would check in at 11 o'clock in the morning. And it's simply, let's go through our affirmations together. And it's a mindset break. It's a mindset break. And then you're going right into your affirmations, review your goals, and then get back onto your follow-up because 11 o'clock would be follow-up. That's the first thing that popped in my head. This isn't a journey to be alone when it comes to keeping this clean and clear. It should be people you look up to that are doing more business than you because you're going to go into that call not complaining. Where if you're with someone that's under where your production level is, the conversations could end up a little stinking thinking. That's not the purpose of this. It's simply we're both on the same journey. We both have the same schedule per se. Let's have these mindset breaks to stay positive. So you have the carrot, which is your vacation. You know you're crystal clear in what motivates you. And then from there, you have your accountability or your partner little sprints. Does that make sense? The other is meditate or have actual practice of working on the mindset. And for those that don't meditate or haven't meditated, meditation gets a bad rap because there isn't a lot of clarity in what it actually is. It's not keeping a clear mindset. That's not what meditation is. Meditation is simply a time where you're not disturbed, which is important, but it's observing what you're thinking and getting in the practice of clearing it out. It's not, oh shit, I thought of that again. Oh God, I can't meditate. That's not meditation. Meditation is, I got 5 minutes, I'm turning my phone off, and I'm gonna observe what's going through my mind, and I'm going to acknowledge it and get back to center. And then you let the mind goes wherever it goes, and you go, oh, I see that. Let me come back to center. It's not, oh, well, shit, I was supposed to pick up the dry cleaning, and I didn't pick up the dry cleaning, so now I'm going to get in trouble because I didn't pick up the dry cleaning, but wait, I needed that shirt for tomorrow. Oh my God, I need to stop meditating and go pick up the shirt. It's the opposite. It's, oh, wow, I wasn't even thinking about dry cleaning. Good for me. Let me get back to center. That's meditation. It's simply observing your thoughts in third person, not stressing out because you're having thoughts, which is what we normally do. There's also, hey, I thought about it, let me write it down, so now I could get it out of my head. That's fair. But I think you have to become a different human to get to a next level. And you got to a next level, which is kind of leveling up. Oh my gosh, I have business and now I have new problems. And I think it's building systems around that, which you have to have time to slow down and observe. And it takes practice. Yeah. The whole being present, right? Yeah. Because the other side of it, which just popped in my head with what you're sharing, is like, oh, cool, I made it to the soccer game, but I'm on the phone. That's counterintuitive. And so there becomes these next, and it's all a practice. It's a process. You brought it up, being conscious. And that's the first step. And Jordan Freed shared he said, no one got better shitting on ourselves. Yeah. No one gets better shitting on ourselves. And so again, understanding that everything, I brought up practice with you. This is practice too. And it's all, the beautiful part of why I brought up meditation is when you understand that it's a practice, there's no this is the way it should be. It's I'm doing it. I'm in the journey of getting better. And it's so liberating because I put in the work and 98% of the world isn't putting in the work, yet I'm putting in the work and no, it wasn't perfect today. Like there's been so many times I have this little routine where I don't have my phone with me because I'm in a steam room, so I'm doing hot meditation, and with my AirPods, whoever's texting me, it says, ding, you're getting a text from, and I'm like, oh God, it's like halfway through the meditation, this is now what's going on, and I'm in group text, so it's then ding, 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 and then I go, well, that's what today's practice was supposed to be. Is me not going down the rabbit hole of getting pissed off that this is happening. I know what I should have done, which is put my phone on silent or put my phone on do not disturb and let this thing flow. And so it's like, well, that's what today's lesson is. That's what today's meditation is. And so I think the other part is slowing down enough for you to not be numb and chalk it up as, oh, well, tomorrow I'll get better. No, you get better observing what you could have done better and what you could do differently. Not shitting on yourself, not, oh, shit, that sucks. It's, hey, okay, well, maybe if I'm making this up, I rushed out of the house, so I forgot my lunch. And so it's, okay, Is it get up earlier? Is it go to sleep later? Is it turning off my phone earlier? Like I'll give you another example. So I had an extremely intense last 5 days. Like I averaged 4 to 5 hours of sleep for like 5 nights in a row. I was at a real estate conference and it was here local, so I drove back and forth and it was like, I probably should have invested the money to stay at the hotel. Even though it was a 20-minute drive back and forth, it's still 40, 50 minutes of a day. But anyway, and I watched the Heat game, recorded, and I was falling asleep in the fourth quarter watching the game, and I was like, you know what? There's 5 minutes left. The Heat are up by 25. I'm gonna take out my contacts and I'm gonna go to sleep. Well, I woke up at like 9 o'clock and I said to myself, I have a choice. I can get up right now and then I'm gonna have trouble going to sleep at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning because I just slept 5 hours. Or I just push through. But as I was looking, I saw I got a text message from a recruit on Sunday between 5 and 9 o'clock. So I had a conscious choice. I don't care what's in that text. Don't even care. I acknowledge it. It could be good. It could be bad. But at the end of the day, I have no idea. So I'm not going to let my brain make a decision if it's good or bad. I'm going to go right back to sleep. So I went to the bathroom. I went right back to sleep. Ended up sleeping 13 hours yesterday. Bliss. Woke up this morning when I knew I was up. Looked, and she said, I don't know that Aventura is the right fit for me. Well, I'm completely okay with it, but it probably would have made me feel some type of way first thing when I woke up from a 5-hour nap, and I would not have gone back to sleep. The practice of staying center, of not letting anything, I put my oxygen mask on. Do you see where I'm going with that? I put my mask on. She texts me. Cool. That doesn't mean I have to acknowledge the text. And so let that be a little lesson in the mindset journey of no one gets a text back or needs a text back on a Sunday. Period. Let alone at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night when you first text me back or text me. Whether there was good news, bad news, it's Monday's business. And that was what I said. When I saw that she had texted me, tomorrow's business, no matter what. Good, bad, right, wrong, indifferent. And let that be part of this lesson as you get busier. Communication and rules are in boundaries. Rules, boundaries, vital. I completely subscribe to that because mindset is so important. So important. And it kind of goes, the other side of that is as long as you are disclosing that, hey, I will always get back to you. You don't need to say on my terms. They say, I will always return your text. You've given yourself the grace period. No one needs to hear back from you. And if they do, that might not be a person you want to be in business with anyway. And so setting up those guidelines and those rules, I think, are absolutely vital to longevity, doing more business, and growth. So we got 7 minutes left. I would love to hear what we took away today. Embrace losing people on the journey. I can't be any more blunt than that. That's a badge of honor. For real. Because another way of saying that is that you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And that can be a negative thing too. Versus the, hey, I'm hanging out with so-and-so or this group of individuals. You want to be the least intelligent person in the room. Okay? You want to be. Like, that's a badge of honor. The most mature thing anyone in this room can say is that. I don't know the answers. I'm going to learn the answers before I just make stuff up. We all have anchors. And an anchor is something that reminds us of something. And so some things anchor us and trigger us into something negative. Here's the other thing. We can never, ever, 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 don't try. We can never control our first thoughts. Ever. but you can acknowledge it and control your second. You can, I promise. Maybe not the second, the third, but just acknowledge, ooh, I just thought of that, and I don't know how that serves me. So let me acknowledge how I feel right now, which is acknowledging your thoughts. I think there's so much to learn in that. And the one thing that I want to add to that is, if you believe that email, which I didn't check my email for 5 days. I woke up this morning at 5:45 and I checked my email. And mind you, I just put a deal under contract on Thursday. So, like, how about that in itself? Like, I was just like, you know what? I'm being present. And I know I have systems, and if there's World War III happening, no pun intended, which literally kind of started while I wasn't checking my emails, someone's going to reach out to me via text and let me know something needs to happen. Email is simply other people's problems coming onto me. Like, has anyone ever wrote you email and said, "You're awesome, just want to send this to you"? No, it's, "Hey, I need this," or "Hey, here's what," right? It's everyone putting their stress on you. And so that's kind of the same thing, Larry, look, when I'm door knocking, I'm present. And I'm present because I want to show who I'm speaking to that they're the most important person in the world.